And here we go. Actual news, actual updates, not just speculation and trade rumors. Today, we are talking about the Flyers and not the Vancouver Canucks. We're talking about the Flyers and the Habs. Not in a trade-like capacity. Not in a head coach Rick Tocchet just said something interesting about the Vancouver Canucks type of capacity. Nah, we are talking about one of the main young guys that Rick Tocchet is going to ruin. Okay, we're not going to say that he's going to ruin him. We'll wait till the season begins. But we're talking about Matvei Michkov today. And this is not the first time we have made a video discussing Michkov and the Montreal Canadiens, because for a good chunk of last year, no, not last year, 2023, excuse me, so last season, 2 years ago, we were making a ton of videos about the 2023 NHL Entry Draft and whom it was that the Canadiens would end up taking. They had the 5th overall pick, they selected David Reinbacher over Michkov, and that was seen as a really big deal. It later came out that Michkov apparently had preferences and just kind of subtly alluded to the teams at the top of the 2023 NHL Entry Draft that, yeah, I'm not necessarily going to be satisfied with every single team here. There are only certain teams that I want to go to, and it was very apparent that between Arizona, Montreal, San Jose, Philadelphia was a team that he was interested in, so he got selected by them. A lot of Habs fans are salty about it. Oh yeah, Reinbacher is this, Reinbacher is that, Michkov would have been better. But then it was all made okay because the Canadiens drafted Demidov the year after. But this is a Michkov update, which actually dives into all of that. It talks about Demidov, it talks about the Calder snub that he had this year. The article was written and published out there by Sergei Demidov on rg.org, and in it, Matvei Michkov says, "I should have played better." Michkov reflects on his Calder snub and his relationship with Ivan Demidov, not to mention the praise he has for Lane Hutson. This article is going to be linked in the description if you want to dive into it yourself. It's a long Q&A with Sergei Demidov. There are so many questions and so many answers here. But in particular, I wanted to talk about Michkov's comments on both of these Canadiens guys. Don't worry though, because if you want to see his comments on a whole bunch of other stuff, it's all going to be available there too. The article opens up by talking about how Matvei Michkov was cut from the Calder finalists list. The finalists this year were Lane Hutson, Macklin Celebrini, and Dustin Wolf. So no Michkov to be seen. The question starts out by saying, hey, how would you evaluate your first season? You had 60 points and you played with a lot of energy. He says he thought it was great, but he wants his team to make the playoffs every year and fight for the Stanley Cup. Did you set any personal goals, like a certain number of points, or making the Calder Trophy shortlist? Of course. I feel I could have scored more points and played better in some moments. There were plenty of chances that I didn't finish. I didn't have specific numbers in mind before the season started because I didn't know what to expect. New country, new people. My main goal was to show what I can do and enjoy every game. Sometimes it worked out and sometimes it didn't, but now my focus is to train well in the off-season, get stronger, and help the team make the playoffs. That is our main goal. We'll see if you're able to do that with Rick Tocchet, honestly. I mean, that's the biggest thing that I think is going to be potentially challenging here. But I don't know, I've been wrong about a lot of stuff in the past, so hopefully Rick Tocchet doesn't totally destroy Matvei Michkov's offensive productivity and reprograms his brain. Okay, I gotta stop saying that. Just let it go. Let go, come on, let it go. Okay, back to the topic here. The main reason we're making this video is because Michkov spoke out about Ivan Demidov. Let's read this. You and Ivan talk a lot. Did you discuss first impressions of the NHL? Yeah, we talked about it. Vanya had a strong first game. I congratulated him right after. Then he played in the playoffs. Not for long, but that experience will help him a lot in the future. Oh, come on. Yeah, he didn't play for long. Yeah, okay. You know what, he's not wrong, but still, I found that kind of funny. Do you agree that Ivan Demidov has a big future in the NHL? Definitely. Michkov says he has huge potential. If he keeps working in the right direction, everything will work out. The most important thing is to stay healthy. We'll support him all the way. He's a skilled, fast, and talented player. He can make plays and score goals. He has everything to be a superstar in this league. So Michkov is paying his respects to Demidov, who happens to be younger and who was taken in a draft class after. I'm just kind of reading this article and thinking to myself, man, what if the Canadiens just drafted Michkov? What if they skipped out on Reinbacher and they went Michkov in 23 and Demidov in 24? What if they had both of these guys with Caulfield, Suzuki, Slafkovsky, and maybe even Laine? Just imagine how stacked the Canadiens' top six would be if they had both of these Russian dudes on the same line or something. Screw getting a second-line center, you could put me in that second-line spot with Demidov and Michkov and I'd get points. What more if it's Kirby Dach? I mean, all you need is a playmaking guy who can get the puck in and who can play with a big lanky stride, and all of a sudden you got a winning formula. Oy, just the idea of that. Suzuki, Caulfield, Slafkovsky, Michkov, Demidov, and somebody else. Oh, I love that. It does seem like there's a lot of camaraderie here between the two young Russian dudes, so obviously that's not surprising, but it is nice to see it put to paper here with these comments made by Michkov. Now, speaking about other Canadiens, guys, there was a conversation about Lane Hutson, which I did want to go out there and discuss as well. It's written about here in the piece. The question is, did you follow any other rookies during the 24-25 season? Sometimes. I didn't follow them closely, but the media talked about it a lot, so it was impossible to ignore. Lane Hutson had a really strong season. He scored a lot and was great on the power play. I really like his game. I actually saw him back in the 2020 Winter Youth Olympics. I told Ivan Miroshnichenko at the time, watch that guy, he's going to make it. And now he's playing the same way in the NHL. I'm happy for him. Montreal fans are lucky to have him. Now I think, from these comments and the way that the answer is portrayed, Michkov kind of went the extra mile here in praising Lane Hutson. Like, sure, he's going to go out there and praise the hell out of Demidov, like obviously there's a connection there. But for Lane Hutson, he's like, yeah, I didn't really pay attention to rookies, but that guy was really good. And even the throwback to the 2020 Youth Olympics, that, by the way, that's the tournament where Matvei Michkov was labeled by the Olympics as the next Ovechkin. I remember talking about that all those years ago. And if you wanted to take a little bit of a throwback there, let's head over to Matvei Michkov's shot at the Young Olympic Games. He had 14 points in 4 games over there. Him and Miroshnichenko were the top guys on the team and in the tournament. But Lane Hutson was nowhere to be found on the top of the point-scoring list here. It's kind of unfortunate, but he was not there. He had 2 points in 4 games played. So it is interesting how even back then, 5 years ago, when Lane Hutson wasn't really scoring all too much, Matvei Michkov is even going out there and saying, yeah, that guy's going to make the NHL. What a crazy, crazy way to analyze the prospects, and it ended up working too. So with that in mind, I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about Matvei Michkov and his commentary on Ivan Demidov and Lane Hutson. It's nice to see a Philadelphia Flyer going out there and praising some Canadiens guys, and of course, because there is a connection, it's a lot easier to say that. But for now, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. The rest of the article is going to be linked in the description. There is so many extra questions and answers, so you could definitely take some time to read that. But I hope you enjoyed this Research Roll 99, and bye.